Good morning, 30 September. Good morning, 30 September 2024. Good morning to the replay crew, everybody in the chat, everybody listening on podcast. I'm Bear from the internet. I am losing my voice because I am sick, but we will do the best that we can with what we got where we're at. We have a lot to talk about this morning. The first thing we're going to talk about, though, as you guys ponder whether or not you're subscribed here, ring the little bell icon, leave a comment for the YouTube algorithmic robots, is I got a comment from somebody on the Jonah video that just posted, and I would encourage you, if you think you know the story of Jonah and the whale, to go watch that video, because you don't know the story of Jonah and the whale, not biblically anyway. And this comment said something to the effect of, I'm in Greenville, North Carolina, and everything has been smashed, and I'm in a bad situation. And I have been supporting Grindstone Ministries for years, and I don't know why, but I guess I expected you to just, me, Bear, to just ride in here and fix everything, and you haven't. And I guess I shouldn't have put my faith in a YouTube preacher. I got to tell you, oh, by the way, this is going to be an R-rated / potentially NC-17 rated conversation this morning. So if you're one of those people that's offended by sounds, or you let your children watch the show, today's not the day. I got to tell you, that comment pissed me the fuck off. And here's why. Because unbeknownst to this person who's in Greenville, North Carolina, since Saturday morning, which is Shabbat, the Father's Day of Rest, myself and Grindstone Ministries has been working with the Tennessee Department of Emergency Management to do helo extracts coordinating with, it doesn't matter who, because they don't want to be known, doesn't matter who, to pull people, hundreds of people, off of rooftops and out of completely destroyed areas, completely destroyed, wiped off the map areas, to sling load supplies to those people who can't get out. We are moving assets from Texas and Oklahoma all the way into eastern Tennessee and western Carolinas, which, by the way, are not anywhere near each other on the map. We've been moving personnel. I've been taking funds out of Grindstone. I've been taking funds out of Grindstone and pouring them into other ministries, including Reverend Gilbert Abreu and his wife Evelyn, Night Runners Mobile Crisis Response, who was the first organization Grindstone ever paired with our first ever disaster relief operation 5 years ago in Panama City, Florida. I myself spent yesterday afternoon sharpening chains and loading the truck so that I could get out there. I have people right now, Grindstone people in eastern Tennessee. Grindstone is one of 2 501c3s that is been approved to operate at a state level in Tennessee. And that's important because that means that county and local emergency management doesn't get to tell us what to do. We've been blessed off by the state. As we speak, my Grindstone guys are in a meeting with Tennessee Emergency Management right now. And the current need that I'm working on personally, behind the scenes back here, trying to make stuff happen for people who have lost everything, is I need 30,000 cases of water to eastern Tennessee and western Carolinas. And that's estimated to be enough water for approximately 3 days. 30,000 cases of water. And so just to assuage the fears that Grindstone isn't operating in this catastrophic flooding aftermath, We've been busting our ass since it happened. And I guess much like the spirit, just because you can't see us doesn't mean we're not doing anything. Just because I haven't pointed an iPhone at complete and utter destruction yet doesn't mean that it didn't happen. And nobody in the mainstream is talking about what has happened in Western North Carolina and Eastern Tennessee, but it's horrendous. Entire towns have been wiped off the map. Thousands and thousands, if not tens of thousands of people are still missing. The assumed casualties are in the thousands. Transportation is destroyed. Power grids destroyed. Even the people that had wells, their wells have been compromised because everything flooded and septic tanks got washed into wells. Water is a huge need right now. Then food, then shelter. Last night, I was trying to coordinate via helicopter extract one location that had over 200 people at it, 100 of which were children inside of a school, to get them out. So to anybody who thinks I'm just an internet pastor, please pull your compass out, shoot an azimuth, and fuck off in that general direction. Okay? Okay. Bear Independent Brief, 30 September 2024. Talks between the U.S. Maritime Alliance and the International Longshoremen's Association haven't made progress since last summer. There's now an upcoming strike as East Coast ports as longshoremen prepare to walk out on Tuesday, October 1st. That would be tomorrow. Ports are stretching from Texas to New England. It would be the first strike like it in nearly 50 years and would meaningfully disrupt commercial shipping and national economy. Not only could this cost the U.S. economy something like $1 to $5 billion a day, but this strike would also be the largest disruption in the supply chain since the pandemic. Top companies that import through the East Coast ports are Walmart, Home Depot, IKEA, Samsung, LG Electronics, major automakers, and auto suppliers, according to CNBC. I'll also have you know the largest manufacturers and distributors of trauma medical gear are located on the East Coast. And even if they do manufacture the bulk of their products in the United States of America, raw commodities come in from elsewhere in order to be able to produce those things. Today's a really good day to buy a Bearfac. And I'm low pressure, no pressure sales. I'm just telling you guys and girls the truth. The pandemic pushed Refuge medical lead times out to 14 weeks, 3.5 months. Now, we filled every one of those orders because we are people of integrity. We do what we say we're going to do. Emunah, faith through works. You will know what I believe when you see me do what I do. And so we filled every one of those orders. But I'm telling you right now, shit has the potential to get squirrely again. And the longer this strike goes, if it goes, the longer these lead times for everything will be. And so stock up on toilet paper, paper towels, bottled water. And if you don't have all the med stuff you think you're going to need, today's an excellent day to get it. We'll talk more about the Bearfac in a little bit. Of course, who ultimately pays? Margaret Kidd, Program Director of Supply Chain and Logistics Technology in the University of Houston, warned, quote, "A strike like this is where half the country is closed down. American consumers, half the country is closed down." Oh, by the way, I-40 between Tennessee and North Carolina doesn't exist currently. I-40. It's the busiest east-west road in the country. 90+% of everything you touch was on a semi-truck at one time. That's amazing, RL. Pinball is over 60K in donations and buying staging buckets for deliveries. That's wonderful. If pinball needs logistics support to get those buckets out where they need to go, admin@grindstoneministries.com. Admin@grindstoneministries.com. One of the things I was able to coordinate yesterday is a guy who has a furniture delivery business who's making his box trucks available to move supplies overland out to where they need to go. In addition to coordinating private aerial assets to be able to move people out and supplies in and ferry people back and forth. And we've got SAW teams on the ground starting today to start to cut our way in, because in many places, between mudslides and trees down, the roads, even if the roads still exist, they're completely impassable. Yes, Big Cheese, I'm aware. The sad part is another hurricane is forecasted to hit at the end of the week, almost identical path. I'm on my knees praying it don't happen. I know, Big Cheese, I know. And there's 2 more behind that one. Yours will be done. Guys, if you're not prepped, I mean, forget the Russians and the Chinese and the Iranians. I know, like in my heart, not in my head, there are more than 4,000 known terror cells in the country, in the United States currently. And there's incredibly credible intel coming from places that I cannot divulge that the likelihood of domestic terror attacks on the 7th of October is incredibly high, on the 1-year anniversary of Hamas attacking Israel. And then on the 8th is the Prophet Muhammad's birthday. So things are bad. Things have the potential to get much worse if you're not prepped for service interruptions. Just started that, service interruptions. The power doesn't work anymore. I'm cut off from everywhere around me because everything is flooded. Well, hurricanes hit Florida and Georgia and, Mississippi and Louisiana and maybe Texas. They don't hit North Carolina. Yeah, there's a lot of people in North Carolina who are kicking themselves in the ass right now. Okay. I'm telling you, please be prepared. Please be prepared. Half the country has the potential to close down due to these ports that go on strike as of tomorrow. If it goes on for a long period of time, folks will be unemployed. This is not one sector. This is the entire U.S. economy being affected. In addition to the financial impacts it could have, it would also create this chaos uncomfortably close to the presidential election. Coincidence, I'm sure. Number one threat. The survival situation, thermoregulation. Where is it? Oh. Where are you, book? So this. If you haven't read this book, get this book. Really good book. 98.6, The Art of Keeping Your Ass Alive by Cody Lundeen. And that book is followed up by this book, which is a textbook, Structure and Function of the Human Body. Yeah, this is a medical textbook, okay? And they say the same thing. And then that book is informed by this book, Wilderness First Responder Curriculum. They're all the same thing. Thermoregulate. There's your 3 witnesses. A wet body loses body heat 26 times faster due to evaporative cooling than a dry body does. That's why when you get hot, your body sweats, because the Father's amazing and he turns your ass into a swamp cooler. That's a problem if you're trying to maintain 98.6 and it's cold outside. Core body temperature matters. In addition to the financial impacts that this strike on the ports could have, it would also create chaos uncomfortably close to the presidential election. Coincidence, I'm sure. October 1st is the same day that the vice presidential debate is to be televised. Yes, chaos is the correct word for what could potentially happen here should the strike be a long one. Quote, "It's potentially the craziest thing I've seen in North America for some time apart from COVID," end quote, said C.H. Robeson's Director of Ocean Exports for North America, Mia Ginter. Voters would certainly feel it too. Supply chain disruptions are looming in more ways than one, though. Yes, Hurricane Helene's impact is already complicating cargo deliveries across the Southeast, but there may be more. Here's a little intel bite from the Bear Nation. Quote, "I am a last mile food delivery truck driver in the upper general East Coast area. I've noticed a lot of concerned business owners due to the steadily rising prices on food. Today, I witnessed a shop owner drop their jaw. Seeing the prices go up firsthand is terrifying. Last month has been a train wreck in terms of price increases. The last 2 weeks hit really hard. I travel regularly for work, which allows me to shop at farms in the area. I've been to many farms and bought fresh beef, chicken, and eggs many times in the past. However, the last 2 weeks, the prices have been increased. I spoke to the farmers and butchers about prices. I asked what was causing the increase. The owner just looked at me and said, the feed prices are actually pretty cheap now. It's the cows that are expensive now. The cost per head has increased to a point where we need to increase prices to remain operational. We have the biggest beef cattle shortage since 1951. Every single farm that I purchased beef from that day had increased their prices by 20%. I'll tell you guys and girls about the bear fact now. Then we're going to talk about a handful of other things. This is our flagship product. This is the bear fact. It's made in America, guaranteed forever. Refuge medical kits have contributed directly to the saving of 136 lives to date that we're aware of. The number is probably going to go up given the current stimulus that we've got here. As you can see, our Made in America tag on the back. We make these here in Oklahoma. What does guaranteed forever mean? It means if you break this, I'll replace it at no cost to you. Simple as that. If you use the contents of this kit to save a life, I'll replace them at no cost to you. Simple as that. This is Molly Pal's webbing compatible, exceeds military specification for an individual first aid kit. That's why I designed it and built it. And then the way this works is this rides around on your kit, good to go. When you need it, you pull the lid open, grab the red handle, pull this out so that my life-saving equipment isn't stuck to my body or my rucksack or my headrest. I have it out where I need it because sick people tend to end up on the ground. What's up, Brother Gas? Sick people end up on the ground. Dirt medicine. I need to be able to get down on the dirt with them. And then I can pop this kit open with one hand because I may be injured or missing the other hand. Watch this. You watching? Ta-da. Boom. One hand. And unlike a lot of our air quote competitors, this is not a bunch of random shit just stuffed in here. This makes sense. It's prioritized per the March algorithm. So massive bleeding first, tourniquet, pressure bandage, Sharpie, gloves, medical tape. Massive bleeding first. That's 90% of my problem. Then in the back here, 7% of my problem is airway and respiratory. Well, I have shears to expose the casualty. I have a nasopharyngeal airway to maintain a patent airway. Clear, open line from the front of your face to the top of your lungs. Okay? And then I've got two big gauze pads. Big gauze pads. Because if I need big gauze, I need them now. If I need small gauze, I got time. Okay? 2 5x9 gauze pads. burn shield dressing, because that's a common modality of injury that's often unaddressed in first aid kits, let alone individual first aid kits for combat applications. And then a pair of Halo chest seals, one vented, one non-vented. Okay. So that's in what we call our stack. That's massive breathing, airway, and respiratory. And all that stuff is loud and proud right where you can get at it immediately inside the kit, so that we're not wasting time, because time is our most precious resource, digging through this kit, trying to find the stuff that we need. Then down here in the bottom, we got everything else. Circulation, head injury, hypothermia, etc. So I've got quick clot, rolled quick clot in here for wound packing in our junctional areas. Mylar blanket for hypothermia mitigation, compressed gauze for wound packing, rolled gauze for dressing lacerations, minor abrasions, a triangle bandage here for splinting, for isolating arms or legs as needed, for doing all kinds of things. Char cloth, eye shield, iPad, 2x2s, 4x4, 5x9 gauze pads, flat duct tape, etc. all down here. Sarah Kelly just donated on Grindstone's website. Keep up the good work, Bear. May you be refreshed as you have refreshed. Bless you. Thank you. We'll get to Grindstone in a moment. I appreciate you, Sarah Kelly. That's the bare fact. And as everybody else has been raising their prices, we've actually been able to reduce our prices somewhat at refugemedical.com. So go check that out. And all the thought and all the care that went into this kit, the bare fact, is in all of our kits. Whether it's a small to black kit, a back kit, a belt kit, an adventure kit, an OSHA compliant kit, stomp bag, whatever it is. So you can check that out at refugemedical.com. Your promo code is BearNation for free shipping on everything in the store. All medical components are HSA and FSA eligible. We do have a new burn bucket out. So we have wound care buckets, surgical buckets, postpartum buckets, birthing buckets, and now we have a wound care bucket out as well, or a burn bucket out as well, rather. So you can check that out at refugemedical.com. We also have a survival gear tab. It's the same exact survival gear that's issued to the U.S. military. So if you need a survival kit, like a real one, it's like current issue to Air Force pilots and guys that might have to do some SEER stuff, survival, escape, resistance, evasion. You can check that out on refugemedical.com. We've got a new workplace kit that's designed to fill either a Milwaukee pack out or DeWalt organizer box. That's also there. The OSHA compliance kit is now in a durable soft bag for more wide applications. You can find that at the site. And we've got new classes as well. So if you want to come to class and learn everything from how to operate a ham radio to force-on-force patrolling with blue guns before you get into a scenario-based engagement with the cadre, all of that. Or you want to teach bleeding control to your children. All those different types of classes are on the training tab at refugemedical.com. And there's a free 4-hour curriculum, the trauma medicine playlist, on the training tab at refugemedical.com. Today's the day, y'all, because tomorrow the logistics could shut down again. We got a super chat here from somebody. Cody Reed, super grateful for TJ, Pastor Joe, Billy Bond, Refuge, and a whole lot of others pushing me to come out of her, my people, and preparing to perpetuate normalcy. I'm currently stationed near I-26 in NOLA, Chucky, operating from a position of strength. Bless you, Cody Reed. Thank you. I got 2 burn buckets ordered. Awesome, Ace McLean. Good morning, Texas Sheep Lady. All right, Grindstone Ministries. Grindstone Ministries is deployed in the aftermath of Hurricane Helene. We're not in Florida. We're not in Georgia. And let me tell you why. That's where everybody else is. And unlike everybody else, we go to where the people need the most help and the people that have the least ability to help themselves. Florida's pretty good at getting hit by hurricanes. I'm not saying that it's not a problem for them too. It is, but they have a lot of experience of getting hit with hurricanes. Eastern Tennessee and the Western Carolinas are a shit show right now. Entire towns have been washed off the map. El Huevo, bless you. Thank you. That's where we are. That's where we are. And in the days and weeks ahead, we will be bringing more and more and more in as far as logistics and personnel and material is concerned. I personally am dying on the inside that I am not there right now. I'm not there for a handful of reasons. The first is my face is filled with green shit and I can barely speak. I've been losing my voice for days. Okay. The next is my 6-month-old is going through the exact same thing. She's also goopy sick right now. The next is I have pastoral commitments on this side of the camera that I have to keep in this coming week. But when I'm done with those commitments and I'm healed up within the next few days, I'm going. And in the meanwhile, Kyle, our executive director, and several of our other guys, Jody from Buckets and Bibles, Heath from Tactically Torah, and others are all out there. They're all out there getting after it. Kyle's working directly with Tennessee Emergency Management. And I am over here. I have been on the phone nonstop since the morning of Shabbat, trying to coordinating relief and extraction and sling loads and logistics. And I mean, the Father's amazing. I can't tell you what assets he put at our fingertips because a lot of these guys were operating outside of the intent of their command. We'll just put it that way. But I can tell you, even when it seems super bleak out there, that the country is lost. It might be strategically, but tactically, there's still so many good people in this country. So many. And people have been doing the right thing, not what they've been ordered to do or told to do, to make shit happen to help people in need. And I've been a very small part in coordinating that effort here until I get to go. And I will be going next week. And Grindstone will probably be in that area, Eastern Tennessee and Western Carolinas, for months. For months. If you want to assist, you go to grindstoneministries.com. You contact us through the website and you sign up for the email blast. I don't know how many times I have told you all to sign up for the email blast. We will not spam you. We do not sell your email address to anybody else. It's so that we can contact you with the operational orders as to here's what we're going to do. Be here in this place, in this time, with this equipment. Bring these things. That's how you get involved. I just posted on Patreon the loadout video, what to bring, as well as a one-sheeter on the loadout. That's another reason to be on Patreon, because there's a lot more direct commo between me and y'all on Patreon. $10 a month, prepper consultancy. It's the best freaking $10 you can spend on the internet. So, Grindstone Ministries. If you can't come and you're convicted to donate, www.grindstoneministries.com. This is what we do. I have been saying for weeks, storm season is upon us, and now it's here. We're going to need help. We need help right now, and we don't need help for us. We need help for the people of Eastern Tennessee and the Western Carolinas. So pray on that. Prayerfully consider it. Of course, Caleb House, Caleb with a K, calebhouse.org, our counter-trafficking ministry. We're no less busy on the counter-trafficking side. And one of the things that there's excellent write-up on Facebook yesterday from the something homestead Midwestern Homesteaders Association, Joni, I think, wrote it up, talking about human trafficking in the wake of natural disasters. Yeah, it's very real. Caleb House is busy. We just get busier and busier. And if you'd like to assist us with that, Caleb with a K, calebhouse.org, for the restoration of juvenile human trafficking survivors. That's it. That's the show for today. Let's talk to Dad. Oh, Father Yahweh. Father, please be with everybody who is displaced right now, who has lost all of their worldly possessions. Father, everybody who is stranded, get them out. Provide the resources that they need. Father, let us help you. Father, let us be a good neighbor. Father, please empower our hearts and our hands to love our neighbor as ourselves, to do wonderful, miraculous things in your name for your glory. Father, put us where we need to be. Open the doors that we're supposed to step through and close the ones that we're not supposed to step through. Please continue to pour out your Spirit on all flesh for wisdom and discernment, and for conviction to operate in righteousness. Father, help us be the light. Father, give us everything we need and most of what we want. Put it in our hand that we might bless others with it, and be an awesome living testimony as to just how good you are and how much you love us. Father, thank you for destroying all of our physical, worldly things that we would have no option but to look to you, but to return to you. Father, thank you for the preservation of life. Thank you for your word and the word made flesh, that we might have a way to come home again in spite of our brokenness. Father, I pray that you'd forgive us of our tactical disobedience and remember our strategic obedience. Father, please be with everybody within the sound of my voice today. Father, help us help you. Heal the physically infirm and the brokenhearted. Pour into those that are empty. Father, make a way for those that are in despair. Father, we know it's nothing new for you for us to go across on dry ground in the midst of the sea. And so I literally pray that today you make a way out for all those that are stranded and lost. Father, thank you for the opportunity to be your hands and feet. Father, give us strength and power and authority and endurance in the name of Yeshua HaMashiach. Father, forgive us our sins. And Father Yahweh, be there anything within the sound of my voice, as weak as it might be today, that is not of you, we come together in agreement and rebuke it in the name of Yeshua HaMashiach and command it to destroy itself. Father Yahweh, put a hedge around your chosen. Let no weapon formed against us prosper. Father, let us put 10,000 to flight today. Father, we love you. We thank you for the covering of the atoning blood of Messiah. I pray that you would please smile upon these people today, that you would turn your face on them, that you would protect them, provide for them, and bless them. In Yeshua's name. Amen. Thank you, Annie. I'm out. I got to get after it. Joy. Exactly, Daryl. Maybe we'll have a little tiny mini teaching real quick before we end this show. Do you know what the biblical definition of joy is? The Hebrew word for joy is simcha. Shin mem chet. And joy literally translates as the transformative fires of Yahuwah. Joy is to be made new and to be refined through pressures and trials and tribulations. My brothers, count it all joy when you fall into various trials for the proving of your faith. What is faith? Is the word emunah, which means belief combined with works. And when you have emunah, belief combined with works, and you are experiencing joy, which is not happiness, it's not a feeling, it's the transformative fires of Yahuwah. Those two things lead to what is called bitachon. Now, you don't have to listen to me. I'm just some pastor from the internet, apparently. But bitachon translates as trust. And trust is the weakest word possible that one could give to the meaning of bitachon. Bitachon is complete and utter reliance on Elohim. It's understanding who he is and understanding who you are and knowing on a long enough timeline, whatever it is that you're going through can't help but turn out for the good, for the glory of Elohim and those who love him. Romans 7. Because he is Yahuwah and he is sovereign over all things, and his will be done and his word will not return to him void. And so if you have faith through works, through the trials and tribulations of the world, you can't help but trust, fully know in your soul that Elohim is good and that all things work together for his good and for the good of those who love him. So faith, emunah, belief proven out through works, simcha, joy, the transformative fires of Elohim, and bitachon, trust, complete and utter reliance on the creator of the universe. I love y'all. I see you guys when I see you. Shalom.